Hey everyone, it's 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗓𝗖𝗓 here, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can handle the ups and downs in life in a much better way. When I look back at my life before cancer, I feel I was very much driven by what was happening outside of me, and I lived in this constant yo-yo of feeling good, when everything was going my way, and then feeling awful when something happened in my, outside of me. But the truth is, things happen outside of us all the time that are not according to our own plan, right? And if we only are gauged by if the world goes how I want and how I like to feel good and to feel great about ourselves, our lives are going to become very, very difficult because, we have 8 billion people in the world, we have 8 billion people wanting the world to live differently and the things to go differently, and things are not going to only go our way or according to our plan. This is why people that struggle with, the need to control live in so much suffering, because they live in this prison of wanting to control the outside world, which is pretty much impossible for one person to do. So when I look back at how I used to live, I understand why I was in so much suffering. I was in so much suffering because I allowed life, I allowed people's beliefs, that it was okay to feel like that, to have all these crazy ups and downs, that life was like that, to really guide me through life. And when I started really mastering, my inner world and my emotions and really focusing on my physical health so I could strengthen my body, so I could tackle any emotional challenge that I had to face, which I have faced many after cancer, then I started realizing that life didn't have to be like this roller coaster. I didn't have to, every day, jump on this, little wagon that would just take me up and down when it wanted. So for me, it was very much understanding how I could ground myself in those situations, how I could react to them differently, how I could keep my cool in some situations, that I was facing that was challenging me. And I remember after going through a very, very stressful time after, the cancer, it was actually last year. It wasn't anything to do with my health. It was to do with things outside of me. And I hadn't gone to my therapist for quite a while. So I went to my therapist and I said, you know what? I've had enough. I don't know if I can deal with this anymore. I feel like I went back to, the same old person that I was, the same old version of myself. And she had a little board in her room, in her office, and she said, really? She said, really, Angelica? Okay, let's just think back when you first entered the Zoom, when we first started working together. And she said, you were probably, in a graph like this, you were probably there, right? And then if you think about it, you have gone up, and now you're telling me that you have gone back there, at the beginning, whilst I think that you just had a little dip here and you're gonna get back up again. When she kind of showed me on a graph, I was like, oh my God, I am so not that person anymore. I mean, it's impossible for me to be that person. I have changed so many things about my physical habits, my emotional habits, that I am not that person. And indeed, I am having a little dip. And with everything that I know now, I know that I can gather myself together and I can keep going up again. So now, how do you go about taking control of these ups and downs and dealing with it differently? For me, it's very, very important to really dial in super, super strictly when you are going through this dip, this period of, not feeling certain, or not feeling good, or not feeling grounded, feeling perhaps physically exhausted. For me, it was very, very important to focus even more on my daily habits, on my physical habits, looking after myself, my body more, so I could really, really feel grounded and feel strong and feel up to, to face those challenges. So for me, it was very much, these small habits, going to bed early, making sure that I was resting every day, making sure that I was doing my exercise, my meditation, eating healthily. So, I could quickly, experience the down, but very quickly go up again. So if you are feeling that your life is out of control, that you're facing these ups and downs all the time, the answer is not expecting, hoping that the world will stop presenting you with challenges. The answer is really taking ownership of what you can control, of strengthening your body and your mind and your soul, of really focusing on your daily habits to ground you, to make you strong physically and emotionally, so you can react differently to these ups and downs. Life doesn't have to be this kind of crazy yo-yo like that. Of course we're going to experience some obstacles, some challenges, but you don't have just to allow yourself completely to go downhill as a result of that. You can take control. So, if you want to start with your diet or with your exercise, there's a link below that you can get access to my menu that I still eat these days, and my exercise, which is very, very simple. Everything that I do everything from home because I have a very, very busy life. So dial in on what you can control so you can keep grounding yourself and supporting yourself, and the more you do that, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible for you to go back to the old version of yourself, because every day that you're doing that, you are creating a stronger version of yourself, like I did. And I'm living proof. I'm speaking from experience. This is real and it's possible. The problem is, like, people deal with their habits as, with this yo-yo as well. They're like, when I feel good, then I'll exercise, I'll eat healthy. When I feel bad, I don't do that. Well, it doesn't quite work like that if you want long-term results, if you want to get on top of your obstacles and challenges. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.